What's up, and welcome back to Interpreting the Stars, where today we're bringing it back to our Scooby-Doo movie marathon with Scooby-Doo The Mystery Begins, which is a 2009 live-action TV movie that is attempting to introduce the world to how Mystery Incorporated first met, as well as showcase their first mystery as a team. This was Cartoon Network's production, so I can't say that I was really expecting much out of it. The only thing that I really wanted to see out of it at the end of the day is the heart and spirit of what Scooby-Doo is all about. So this is the question of the day. Is this live-action TV movie better than those theatrical films? Or does it leave you wistful for Matthew Lillard as Shaggy? Let's get cracking. This review is brought to you by the word of the day, wistful. Having or showing a feeling of vague or regretful longing, like the fleeting dream of a world not affected by COVID-19. Scooby-Doo, The Mystery Begins, deals with the first mystery needed to be solved by the famous Mystery Incorporated. It all begins with a couple of ghosts that start attacking a school and forcing it to close down. Fred, Daphne, Velma, Shaggy, and their silly dog Scooby-Doo must discover clues as to why the ghosts would want to shut a school down and what they may be looking for and why, both to solve a mystery and to clear their names from suspicion. Alright, so there's a reason that I don't typically watch or review TV movies. Family and kids TV movies are even worse than just your typical run-of-the-mill TV movie too, because their budget is nearly non-existent. So they can only do so much. With this third live-action Scooby-Doo movie, it feels so uncinematic that it might as well just be a backdoor pilot for a live-action Scooby-Doo TV show on the network. But even that isn't the greatest because the CGI is bad. Again, this is not a big movie with a big movie budget, nor is it a TV movie. It's a Cartoon Network TV movie, and their budget is terrible. And it shows through quite a bit with Scooby-Doo, who just looks like trash. It didn't look the best in the movies either, but at least they got the personality right in those movies. Like, you could tell it was the same characters as the cartoon show, so you didn't care so much about some faulty CGI mishaps. I don't really think they got any of the characters right in Mystery Begins. They all seem like cosplayers to me. Even Scooby-Doo himself, who is still voiced by Frank Welker, and that's where you can definitely tell that a script and its dialogue is important. From what I could tell, all Scooby-Doo was actually doing throughout this film was making weird noises like which he does in the movie too, but he does other stuff. There's not much talking from Scooby in this movie. And there's also not much chemistry between Shaggy and Scooby for some reason. And I didn't buy into the idea that this was actually Scooby-Doo. Shaggy, this poor guy, doing his voice is very, very hard. And Nick Pilatus, who plays Shaggy, does an okay job at times, but for the most part, it just seems like he's trying way too hard to get that voice right that he loses the personality in the process. As for the others, Velma's okay, but just like Shaggy, she doesn't quite have the personality. But she is probably the closest. Robbie Amell does not feel like Fred at all. He's not only missing the iconic blonde hair, but the personality too. He's just kind of a dumb jock in this movie, and that kind of bothered me. I will tell you the one very cool thing that this film does that makes a lot of sense, and that is how these people wound up meeting and becoming friends in the first place, since they are all a group of characters that naturally would not be found in the same clique. That would be a Breakfast Club type scenario where they're all forced to take detention with one another, and that's the biggest draw for this film. It's the biggest thing that I bought into as to why people like this and how diverse they are would wind up as friends. Detention. It makes sense, even if it's not super original. Unfortunately, that's really the only positive that I can say about it, because even the mystery itself has the same problem as the first Scooby-Doo movie in 2002. The setup and the payoff just was not very strong. You need a massively interesting mystery to really showcase everybody's worth, and they just didn't have that. Needless to say, I'm not that interested in seeing the next film with the same cast. But hopefully the biggest problem with this movie is in fact the origin story. The next film may possibly be more on par with what you expect to find from Mystery Incorporated, hopefully at least. I'll know more tomorrow. Let's go ahead and break down that final score. From an unbiased viewpoint, I would say that the story of the film is somewhat competent, but it struggles in a lot of technical areas that would otherwise help the film feel cinematic. So my unbiased score is 48%, but I was very, very displeased with this film as a whole, and my bias score is 36%, averaging everything out to a final score of 42%, 42 out of 100 possible stars, which grants this movie with an F, obviously. I wasn't a fan of this movie, but I am still hopeful for the second prequel film. Guys, let me know your thoughts on Mystery Begins in the comment section down below. Is this just an unnecessary film as a whole, Or did you have a lot of fun with it? Let me know below. As for YouTube, you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button if you like this review, because there's more like it coming out. Hit the thumbs up button, because that always helps out my channel. And don't forget about the little bell icon, because that'll help notify you when I come out with my next review. And until then, peace out!